Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 1 presenters. Our topic for today is all about introduction of key concepts. Our main topics is all about letter A, definition of traditional literacies, letter B, definition of the 21st literacies features of 21st, letter C is features of 21st century teaching and learning, letter D is 21st century skill categories, and letter E is global literacy. Definition of traditional literacies. From the word traditional literacies, traditional which means matagal na nandyan, lagi na natin ginagamit, nakasanayan na natin gamitin. Ang literacies naman ay kakayahang magbasa, magsulat, magbilang, at makaunawa. Muna siya ang traditional literacies. What is literacy? Literacy is defined by dictionary as a state of being able to read and write. Akong gisulti ganiha is kakayahang magbasa, magsulat, magbilang, at makaunawa na yung binasa. Muna siya ang literacies. And philosophy, literacy is the ability to think critically and communicate effectively through listening, speaking, writing in all contents. Ang pasabot ani is ngunit hindi lang dapat marunong magbasa at magsulat, kailangan marunong ka rin umunawa na yung binasa. At marunong kang mag-solve ng problem na mag-isip ka critically, ano ba ang dapat hindi. Muna siya ang sa philosophy definition about literacies. The word literacy stems from the word literate, which appeared in 15th century. Biruin mo, new, 15th century pa nagsimula ang salitang literacy. So, kung talagang nung una, traditional literacy pang ginagamit. Yung mas focus pa tayo sa basa, sulat, wala pang mga technology involved. Muna siya ang 15th century literacy. Focus on different reading, writing, and speaking. Wala kay technology. For example, mga cellphone, mga laptop, or anything technology. Literacy comes from Latin word literatus, means a person marked with letters that is distinguished or identified with letters. Ang meaning ani, specifically, ang ibig sabihin nito ay ang taong marunong magbasa ay naunawaan din ang kanyang binasa. Hindi pwedeng marunong ka lang magbasa pero hindi ka naman marunong mag-comprehend, hindi ka matatawag na literate. For example, kasi kay magbasa-basa ra ka dira, hindi wa kakasabot sa imong gibasa. So dili ka literate person, kay wa makakasabot sa imong gibasa. Okay, understandable na ba, guys?
Okay, so let's proceed to the next topic, which is traditional literacy. So it is built on discoveries and understanding made during the emergent literacy phase of development. So since Mr. Amarin already told you what is traditional literacy, I will just add something about that. So kanitong traditional literacy, it is being able to read and write. If you are able to read and write, then you are traditional literate. So traditional literacy have three subcategories which are basic literacy, comprehension literacy, and functional literacy. So basic literacy, it is literacy needed to perform simple skills. So from the word basic, so more ni siya mga skills nimo nga mga simple. Like for example, kaybaw ka mo basa, kaybaw ka nga ang letter A, ang basa na niya kay A. So that is basic literacy. Next is comprehension literacy. So it is the ability to understand the meaning of what is being read. So kung ang basic literacy is kaybaw ka sa mga basic, so kaning comprehension is kanang kaybaw ka sa imong gibasa, kasabot ka kung sa imong gibasa. Comprehension. Next is functional literacy. So it is about developing and enhancing the skills our whole society needs to function. So from the word functional, so these are the literacy that our society needs. So kung kaybaw ka mo basa, like for example, kung makaybaw ka nga ang green light, it means go. Kung ang orange means ka nang hapit na, so mo na kay functional, you are functional literate.
21st century involves technology, so basically 21st century literacies involves the ability to use technology properly for gathering and communicating information. For us to be a responsible user, we should know what are the limits in using technology in our daily lives. lives because it has two effects, which is the positive and the negative effect. It is important to know how to be literate when it comes in using technology for the reason that today's education, technology is there to help us and to make our work easier and faster. Furthermore, when we know how to use technologies in proper way, we can give awareness to others and a lot of opportunities will come. So here are the examples of different 21st century literacies. First is the information literacy. For a person to be information literate, we should know or recognize when the information is needed. It is the ability to locate, evaluate, and use effectively the needed informations. Next is the multi-literacies. It is the use of ICT in a multiple ways. It depicts the way how people write and read in their lives. It includes a variety of static text, such as books, magazines, labels, pamphlets, as well as non-print media such as music, art, film, and television.
New literacy. The use of new technologies to gather and communicate information. New literacy refers to the abilities needed to communicate with digital media in ways that were non-existent in a pre-digital era. New literacy is about reading and learning through the internet and other information and communication technologies. Digital literacy. The ability to find, evaluate, utilize, share, and create content using information technologies and the internet. So, digital literacy is evaluated by an individual's grammar, composition, typing skills, and ability to produce text, images, audio, and design using technologies. So, digital literacy is all about the proper use of technology sa gadgets and sa social media platforms. Web literacy. It is the knowledge and use of specific skills needed to locate, analyze, and communicate information found online. So it also refers to the ability to read, write, and participate on the web. By this, you will learn how to search to expand the frontiers of your knowledge, or you will learn a new skill or how to share your own work online.
Good morning, everyone. I am Doreen O. Cantano. Together with Samuel Almedilla, we are going to discuss about the features of 21st century teaching and learning. There are 7 features, which are: first, personalized learning; second, equity, diversity, and inclusivity; third, learning through doing; fourth, rethinking learner and teachers' roles; fifth, community relationships; sixth, technology; and the last one is teacher professionalization.
Personalized learning. A personalized approach recognizes that not all students learn in the same manner. So personalized learning involves differentiating instructions so that students can learn in many ways that suit their personal needs. So many theorists now believe that students need to learn through various different learning modalities depending on the student's needs. So examples of personalized learning include the following: differentiated instructions, individualized education plans, student-led project in the classrooms, enhanced freedom of choice in the classroom. So personalized learning, it's kanang focuses on student-centered. So it involves differentiating also instructions that students can learn in many ways that suit their personal needs. So educators can adjust their teaching methods in several ways. So they could differentiate content difficulty, differentiate modes of delivery, and differentiate assessment strategies.
The second one features of teaching and learning in 21st century, which is equity, diversity, and inclusivity. In the 21st century, social inclusion and differences are celebrated. We embrace equity diversity and inclusivity in classrooms by equity. A goal of 21st century educators is to achieve equality of outcomes. Educators are attempting to close achievement gaps between the rich and poor. So here in 21st century, the teachers are trying their best to close the gap between the rich and poor. So here in equity, we need to make sure that the children or the students are given the fairness when it comes to the education process and the learning also, because in the 21st century it is one of their goal to close the gaps between the rich and poor in order to achieve the effective learning and the fairness of outcomes. The next one is diversity. So here, diversity is now considered a strength in classrooms. When students are different, they learn that differences is okay. So here in 21st century, they befriend people of different cultures and learn not to be afraid of other cultures. Like, for example, the children have differences of cultures, belief, and religion. So that differences or that diversity itself, it should be embraced by the teacher also as well as by the other students, because when we say diversity, we have the differences. So just like what I've said earlier, here in 21st century, we accept the differences of individuals, we embrace, and it is really okay that we have differences because each individuals have its own uniqueness that makes them to be different. The last one is inclusivity. We now believe that people of all ability levels, physical disabilities or learning disabilities, deserve to be included in mainstream classrooms. So when we say mainstream classrooms, it is the practice of education students with special needs in regular classes during specific time period based on their individual skills. So which means those students or those learners who have special needs or disabilities should be included in a normal classroom or in a regular classroom so that they can feel that they are a normal people just like the other one. So when we say inclusivity, here in 21st century, teachers are given the opportunity or they are responsible to accept those children who have special needs or disabilities. Children with disabilities should be respected, embraced, and nurtured in order for them to feel that they are accepted or they are normal just like us. So here in inclusivity, we future teachers or even other people should know how to respect those children with disabilities or special needs, because they really need to be feel secured and embraced.
Learning through doing. So the central idea in the learning through doing approach is that we are much better at knowing, remembering, and using knowledge if we learn actively rather than through passive learning. So when we are learning through doing, we have first-hand experience with applying information to the real world, get the opportunity to learn trial and error, aren't told something but rather than we discover things through our engagement with the world around us. And the last one is we can learn information that isn't just theoretical but can be applied to things in our lives somehow. So learning through doing, we can learn new and gather new information while doing something or doing such an activity. So through these kinds of approach, it teaches us that in doing something, we can learn also.
The fourth one feature of 21st century teaching and learning is rethinking learner and teacher roles. So here, in the 21st century, classrooms have changed from being teacher-centered to student-centered. So when we say teacher-centered, it is a way of teaching that the teacher is the only focus or the one who have the attention when it comes to the teaching, while the students kay naglingkod ra and naminaw sa unsay gitabil sa teacher. And while the student centered is just like what we are doing right now in here in 21st century. The learner is the one who will discover that information. They're the one who have the attention, which means student-centered focuses on the learning of the students, the discoveries, and also the way the students how to handle the learning process. The teacher focuses on the students who are the center of attention. The teacher's job is to help coach the students as they learn. So here in 21st century, just like what I've said, the students are the new attention of the education. They're the one who will be the center of focus, and also students are the one who will be the one to discover the learning process, while the teachers is the one who will guide, facilitate, and make corrections if needed. In the 21st century, the roles of both the teacher and the student have changed. Teacher as facilitator. The teacher is now a co-learner with the students. The teacher may still need to control the environment by making it safe and focus on learning. So when we say teacher as facilitator, they're the one who will guide and make sure that the learning process is in a positive way, in an effective way, as well as to keep the students safe and focused when it comes to the learning. So in learning, it is a two-way process. It is because the teacher is learning from the students as well as the students are learning from the teacher. So that's why ang learning is a two-way process. It is also a give and take way of learning. The teacher is no longer the center of attention. That's the students. So just like what I've said earlier, ang students ang maoy focus sa 21st century. They're the one who will discover the information. They're the one who will continue the learning, while the teacher is the one who will facilitate and guide them, and also to make corrections if needed. Active students. Students learn through doing rather than listening. So of course, we already know that we students are more effective when it comes we are trying to do the learning process in our own way, and also we are so active participants when it comes to the different activities in school as well as in the learning process inside the classroom. That's why in the 21st century, and students are really active when it comes to participating at the different kinds of activities or in the learning process, and also they keep learning through making it in their own way, like they're the one who will discover, they're the one who will make the process of learning at their own pace or at their own strategy.
Community relationships. So we are increasingly realizing how important community engagement is for learning. So in our communities, there are amazingly useful people who can teach and inspire our students far better than we can. So teachers know they can't be experts on everything, but there is an expert for every topic out there in the world. So teachers need to seek out experts and bring them into the classrooms. By leveraging the skills and knowledge of the community, we can create a better learning experience for our students. So bringing people from different walks of life into the classrooms also helps our students to create connections with people who aren't like themselves. So this can help inclusion, education for social justice, and create links between people of different cultures. So the aims of community relationship is kanang to help students engage one another through socialization. So through community engagement, they can learn from other kanang students also, as well as kanang they can learn how to socialize.
The sixth one is technology. Modern technologies can be incredibly helpful in classrooms today. Technology is everywhere, so if you could observe the classrooms before the pandemic, you could tell there are some circumstances or instances the teacher used PowerPoint presentation, computer, laptop, or any devices of technology just to use in order for the teaching process and learning to be more effective. So just like what we have used before we started our college journey, we started it through online class through the use of technology, with the use of internet, and that way our learning and education is continuously improving, it can gain us as well as it helps us to become more efficient and effective when it comes to the learning process.
Teacher professionalization. So, teaching children in this century is clearly much more complicated than it was in the last one. We need to create personalized lessons, be inclusive, aim for equality, encourage creativity, engage with the community, use technology to enhance learning, and more. So, to ensure students to get the best learning possible, teachers in the 21st century need ongoing training and support. So, they need to know all the latest research on best teaching practices. So, they need the opportunities to ask questions themselves, try out new strategies, and learn from experts throughout their career. So, one of the biggest challenges for teachers is the rapidly changing educational environment. So, new technologies are quickly coming into classrooms to help us personalize and support learning for all of our students. So, teachers need time and space to learn how to use technology and new pedagogy in ways that will best help their students.
And the last one is teacher professionalization. To ensure students get the best learning possible, teachers in the 21st century need ongoing training and support. They need to know all the latest research on best teaching practices. They need opportunities to ask questions themselves, try out new strategies, and learn from experts through their careers. So, of course, teachers are forever learning. They are forever students. They need to be more effective when it comes to their teaching method and strategies. That's why they need to improve their teaching professionalization through attending some seminars or trainings. In that way, they can gain some new experiences, new information, and also they need to impart some knowledge to the students. That's why they need to keep themselves more compatible when it comes to their learning possible.
21st century skill categories. 21st century skills refers to a broad set of knowledge, habits, and character traits that are critically important in today's world, particularly in collegiate programs in contemporary careers and workplaces. Thus, it can be applied in all academic subject areas and educational stages throughout a student's life. Framework for 21st century. According to the Partnership for 21st Century Skills, this concept encompasses a wide array of a body of knowledge and skills that have to be categorized. Moreover, this concept has been interconnected with applied skills, cross-curricular skills, cross-disciplinary skills, interdisciplinary skill, transferable skills, transversal skills, non-cognitive skills, and soft skills. So, the 21st century skill concept is grounded on the belief that students must be educated in a more relevant, useful, and demand and universally applicable manner. The idea simply lies in the fact that students need to be taught different skills and reflect on the specific demands that will be placed upon them in a complex, competitive knowledge base, information age, and technology driven society. The Partnership for 21st Century Skills presents the following set of skills that are categorized accordingly with different strengths of expected outcomes.
There are three 21st century skill categories, which includes learning and innovation skills, information, media, and technology skills, and life and career skills. Now, let's tackle first the learning and innovation skills. Learning and innovation skills, these are the primary skills orchestrated in the 21st century. They are attributes that differentiate students who are prepared for a complex life and work environment from those who are not. Therefore, there is a need to stress creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration in preparing learners for the future. Having learning and innovation skills is an asset considering that it enables a child or a person to solve problems and advance knowledge because in learning and innovation skills, it focuses on how we think creatively and critically, on how we communicate clearly, and how we collaborate with others or interact with others. First, 21st century skill categories, which is the learning and innovation skills, it also includes four subcategories, which are the critical thinking and problem solving, communication, collaboration, and creativity and innovation. So first, let's talk about critical thinking and problem solving. Critical thinking and problem solving, this may include effectively analyzing and evaluating evidence, arguments, claims, and beliefs, and solving different kinds of non-familiar problems in both conventional and innovative ways. Critical thinking and problem solving refers to the ability of a person to use knowledge, facts, and data to effectively solve problems. One of the example of critical thinking is kanang pangutanon mo sa inyong teacher. For example, mana yung teacher. What? Mana yung teacher nga. Unsa day pasabot anang critical thinking. So, as a student, or kana nga pangutana, nag-involve na siya o critical thinking. Why man? Because it allow a person or a student to think. Nag-use sa og mind in order to think for the answer. Also, another example of critical thinking is kanang give ka og speech. Ihatag nimo og speech, mag-use biya ka sa imong mind to think kung unsa ang imong speech or imong i-share to your audience. So, that's an example of critical thinking. Next is communication. Communication, this pertains to articulating thoughts and ideas effectively using oral and written communication skills in a variety of forms and contexts. Communication is the set of skills that allows students to read, listen, interpret, speak, write, persuade, negotiate, argue, and master a large variety of media. Communication, we all know that communication is very important. Why? In order for us to interact or collaborate with others. Example of communication is kanang nag-discuss inyong teacher tapos kamo naminaw and then nangutana inyong teacher. So, may example siya sa communication kay na may interaction nga nahitabo and also nag-exchange mo og informations. Another example is kanang nagtabi mo sa imuhang friend about mga butang-butang nga inyong gustong istoryahan. Example na siya sa communication. So, next to communication is collaboration. Collaboration It entails demonstrating the ability to work effectively and respectfully with diverse teams. Collaboration is a set of skills that enable people to collectively set goals, allocate resources, fulfill group role plan, manage time, make group decisions, negotiate, resolve conflicts, and build teams. Collaboration is very important, especially in working with a group or in doing group activities. Kay with collaboration, ang giset ninyo ga goal is dali ninyo ma-reach. And also, if you have the skill in collaborating with others, mas makakuha mo dayon og mga different resources which will be helpful in doing your group activities. And with that, you will be able also to manage your time. Kay dali naman ninyo ma build up ang inyong activity kay tungod namoy collaboration with your group members. So next to collaboration is creativity and innovation. Creativity and innovation, it denotes use of a wide range of idea creation techniques to create new and worthwhile ideas. And it is a set of skills that enable learners to discover alternatives, brainstorm ideas, generate solutions, rethink existing paradigms, and create new knowledge. In creativity and innovation, this is a skill nga that allow a learner to discover new and different ideas This is the characteristics that people seek to develop, considering that it will help us to look at the world in new ways and form ideas to improve or to add to it. And also, creativity and innovation allow us to grow, develop, and change. Example in creativity and innovation is that kanang ganing maghatag ka og message. For example, mo give ka og message like imbes ang imong paghatag og message is through sa karon nga 21st century na ta, imbes ang paghatag unta og message before kanang naa ka sa special kanang ang imong loved ones is naa sa layo is through suwat or kanang katong suwat pa sa una. And then tungod sa karon nga 21st century na ta or nanatay mga technology, ang ato ang gigamit is kanang through cell phone, through gadgets in communicating with others. Example siya sa creativity and innovation because it is a creative and new way of sending message to others.
Information, media, and technology skills, also known as literacy skills. People in the 21st century live in a technology and media-saturated environment marked by the following. 1. Access to an abundance of information. 2. Rapid changes in technology tools. And lastly, the ability to collaborate and make individual contributions on an unprecedented scale. So, information, media, technology, also known as literacy skills, focuses on how students can discern facts, publishing outlets, and the technology behind them. There is a strong focus on determining trustworthy sources and factual information to separate it from the misinformation that floods in the internet. Information age. It refers to accessing and evaluating information critically and competently and managing the flow of information from a wide variety of sources. So, information literacy is the understanding of facts, figures, statistics, and data. Also, it teaches us students how to separate fact from fiction. Next is media literacy. It underscores understanding both how and why media messages are constructed. Creating media produces understanding and utilizing the most appropriate media creation tools, characteristics, and conventions. So, media literacy is the understanding the methods and outlets in which information is published. Media literacy is the practice of identifying publishing methods, outlets, and sources while distinguishing between the ones that are credible and the ones that aren't. And last is technology literacy. It pertains to the use of technology as a tool to research, organize, evaluate, and communicate information. Technology literacy DI is the teach students about the machines involved in the information age. Technology literacy gives students the basic information they need to understand what gadgets perform, what tasks, and why. As computers, cloud programming, and mobile devices become more important to the world needs more people to understand those concepts. So kanang understanding removes the intimidating feeling that technology tends to have. With the help of technology literacy, that technology literacy and mass the high-powered tools that runs today's world. As a result, students can adapt to the world more effectively. They can play an important role in its evolution, and technology literacy guide students on how to use the certain gadgets.
Next 21st century skill category is the life and career skills. Today, life and work environment both require more than thinking skills and content knowledge. Cultivating the ability to navigate a complex life requires students to develop the following life and career skills. And career skills is our ability to handle our lives, like being flexible, productive, accountable, and responsible with our careers in the future. So, ang kaning life and career skills, kay mo na siya ang ability to handle our life in preparing for our future. Life and career skills have subcategories. So first, let's talk about flexibility and adaptability. Flexibility and adaptability, we will be able to adapt to change and be flexible. Next is initiative and self-direction, in which we will be able to manage goals and time, work independently, be a self-directed learner, and be responsible to others. In initiative and self-direction, this talk talks about our ability to assess and initiate things independently, and our ability to make our own decisions and organize our own work rather than being told what to do by other people. Next is social and cross-cultural skills, in which it talks about our ability to interact effectively with others or work effectively in diverse teams. In social and cross-cultural skills, it includes our ability to interact with others, or our ability to understand and communicate effectively with others despite differences. Like for example, makamit mo og foreigners or mga people nga lain og religion, beliefs, or o kana lain og religion belief sa inyo ha. So if you have the social and cross-cultural skills, you will be able to communicate or interact with them respectfully. Yeah, kanang maka-communicate kanila with respect kay you have the social and cross-cultural skills man. Next is productivity and accountability. Manage project and produce results. So in productivity and accountability, it is ability of a student or a person to manage tasks or activities. And it allows us to become less stressed, more effective, and thus a more successful individual. Anong less stress man? Kay if you are a productive person, kay you will be able to, you have the ability to manage time and doing your, for example, you have a project or activities. Also, less stress, more effective, thus a more successful individual because you are given a task and then you accomplish it on time. And also because you were able to plan, prioritize, and manage your work. So, mo na ang productivity and accountability. Next is leadership and responsibility. It is the ability to guide and lead others and be responsible to others. So, in leadership and responsibility, it is our ability to guide and lead and be a responsible individual. So, in leadership and responsibility, this kanang wala rin siya nagkuan nga isip usa ka leader, but also as an individual in which you kanang dapat you have the ability to kanang on how to be a responsible individual in this world, or kanang mo na siya. And if you're also a leader, you have also the ability on how to handle your members and how to become a good leader. So that's all for my part. Thank you.
So next is global literacy. So global literacy aims to address issues of globalization, racism, and social justice. It requires awareness and action consistent with a broad understanding of humanity. So global literacy is to understanding of how the world is organized and interconnected. So it brings awareness of the possibilities facing the worlds of people. So global literacy is to do what's right and to have an effective actions about specific issues about the world. So global literacy is the kada gituluan ta para to have a strong and ma-enhance ang ato ang skills para pud makatabang ta sa ato ang global issues. So there are characteristic of global citizens. So first is respect for humans regardless of race, gender, religion, and political perspective. The second is respect for diversity and various perspective. And the third is promote sustainable patterns of living, consumption, and production. And the last is appreciate the natural world and demonstrate respect for the rights of all living things. So next is interconnected, multicultural, and global literacy. So every classroom contains sustainable of different races, religion, and cultural groups. Aver that students embrace diverse behaviors, cultural values, patterns of practice, and communication. So one of the example of this is kanang na ako'y friend where different religion because siya is ako is usa ko Catholic, then siya usa ka Muslim. So once sa amo ang pag-communicate sa usag-usa kay nakita namo ang amo ang pag-communicate or paghinitagay og information about sa amo ang lain-lain nga tradition. So sa ako ang is Catholic, sa to kay ma-celebrate ang mga Christmas nya kanang
ato gani mo ato ta sa mga gitawag nila kanang mga araw na mga patay. So ato na to managkot na dito or mga kuan niya kanang kabantay mo kanang palitan natay mga kanang kaparehas na nato og dugo sa mga Katolik. So ang napamantay kanang taas nga panahon para makauban siya sa usa ka balay, no. So sa ilaha nga part sa Muslim is wala sila'y para sa tuwa wala sila'y Christmas. So naa sila'y kanang gitawag nila og Ramadan. So sa ilaha is nakita naman jud madungog naman jud nato sa ilang side, no, na dili jud sila mukaon og baboy. So sila pod kay kanang sa ilaha na patay is kanang palitan na sila yung mga kaparehas nila og dugo na kanang kuan sila kanang Muslim. So sa ilaha is palitan mamatay ang isa ka tawo is dili nila kuhaan og dugo. So ang ilaha is kanang ilara daw tong puston o kanang nipis ra nga panapton. So sa giingon ni Sir ato is nipis nga panapton with white gani siya og kuan color. So dito ra nila kuan dito dayon ilubong, then i-praise ra nila ang usa ka tao. So sa Catholic is daghan pa kaayo mga panahon nga mabilin sila sa balay nya manang kuanan pa kanang nagini gitawag nila kanang magbinggo-binggo pa or mga sugal-sugal nila. So ana so sa ilahang Muslim is wala ra sila nga so dito ra ilahang nga kuan. So sa moto nga sa among sitwasyon duha nga lain ni og tradition nakabuhat dito or naka-insist dito ang pagkakuan mo sa multicultural literacy kay nahimo naman siyang literate namong duha. So kay ang amo man nahimo siyang literate kay amo man na share sa usag-usa ang amo ang culture sa among tradition. So sa global literacy kay masulod na dito ang pagkasinabtanay namo sa usag-usa ug dito na kuha ang mga deep understandings about sa interconnected multicultural literacy. So next is global competence. So global competence is the multidimensional capacity. So global competence is the ability to engage citizen and collaborative problem solvers who are ready for the workforce. So ang global competence is the multidimensional capacity. So is to have the global competent individuals which can analyze and also rationalize local and global issues. So sa multidimensional capacity among students kay kanang we are used to it nga kanang ang global competence individuals are globally competent students na kaya na natong i-analyze ang mga kaya na natong ma-analyze o ma-expand ang ato ang pangunahuna gamit sa tuang different issues nga pwedeng natong ma-encounter once nga nanata sa at lain-lain nga trabaho. So, kita nga students, we need to understand and appreciate in different perspective and worldviews. Kay what I've said nga kanang once nga naanata sa ato ang work field or naanata sa lain-lain nga ato ang trabaho, dapat nga naanatay nakatunan nga ang perspective ang dapat nga naanatay makatunan sa mga nga perspective or mga opinions sa mga other people. So because once nga ma-measure na nato ang mga sa ato ang work field kay diha naman nato ma-meet ang mga different people or different different attitudes or different perspective as well. So once gali nga makatun na ta sa pag-appreciate o ma-understand ang ilang perspective of other people na ato ang makauban or atong ma-meet is kanang ma-meet sa in the work field kay kanang ato nang makatunan ang mga kanang pag-respect sa ilaha and we can enter the act successfully. So furthermore, we can create good connections of other people nga atong ma-meet sa isag-usa. So next is promoting global competence in school. schools plays in a crucial role in helping young people to develop global competence. They can provide opportunities to critically examine global development. So, promoting global competence is which is to help to form new generation who care about global issues and engage in social, economic, and environmental discussions. So even though we are students, we must know about environmental discussion, even the social issues. So there are the need for the global competence. First is to live harmoniously in multicultural communities. Second is to thrive in a changing labor market. Third is to use media platforms effectively and responsibly. And the fourth is to support sustainable development goals. So that's the end of my report. To the next report.